members of his entourage, principal staff officers, gentlemen officers, gentlemen of the press. Let me, sir, on behalf of the officers and men of the Nigerian Army, once again welcome you this time to Army Headquarters, Nigerian Army. And let me start by further appreciating your efforts of taking the lead in visiting us. I mentioned in the office that the Nigerian Army, particularly, or if you will, Nigeria and Pakistan, and Nigerian Army in particular, also have long history of good relationship with the Pakistan. I was mentioning several officers, for example, that have trained in Pakistan, who have served there. I just mentioned the immediate past DA, General Mukhtar. I mentioned the immediate past chief of program and policies, General MSA Aliyu. I even mentioned our own Sultan, who was served there also as DA. And I was mentioning, I said, the DA now, when I was saying, because we was in the theater, he was my equal G3. It's from there that he left that place. I also used to remember, even though I'm in the infantry like the general, that some of the areas that, among others, that stand very prominent when I talk about Pakistan is the artillery training. You are talking very seriously here when you say you did your gunnery in Pakistan. The Ethiopia is from the artillery. So it's area that, we have.
That is why he's sitting very serious.
You told me that in Pakistan the artillery people are very mean. I believe I want to when they come back from Pakistan, they are. Look at him, he's very frowning. We have that long relationship. Also, those who have gone to Staff College and the NDC in Pakistan, we have several. I think it's a country that we have the most population, if you will compile those who have attended their school there. My ADC came back from there for his JD. My ADC. He went there for his junior course. Yes. And now several other officers have trained there. Sometimes at interval, when there is any celebration, sometimes we see a letter asking for all alumni of Pakistan, Defense College or Staff College, to now they are invited when Pakistan, the embassy is having an event. So we have long relationship over time. And now the areas you have mentioned are already the areas of concern, even though there may be other areas. IED, like you mentioned, is one of the areas that probably provides one of the greatest challenges for us in the theater, where we are confronting insurgency, which we have been confronting for currently about 70 years. So we actually look for collaboration and support in that area. Luckily, you have been there for a very long time, and you have mentioned it as some areas of your skill and competencies. When you deploy over 70%, you mentioned reduction in casualty. If we could have that resource, it would be very good for us. One of the greatest areas of challenge. The other area that we collaborate also in the training, particularly of special forces. Those who have done that from Pakistan have been very effective here. And now we look forward to also having further training collaboration there. You also mentioned another area that is very key to us, Army aviation. Because even though we have the Air Force, yes, good, they have their own level of support they can provide. Now, Army aviation also is integral, should be integral to the Army, that can provide this, if you would call it, low level of air support, particularly close air support, tactical air support to the troops. Our own Army aviation is still in the formative years, so we look forward also to support and engagement in that area, which I know you have a lot of skills. So we are looking at that. We also hope to engage in areas, particularly night operations, low capacity, and even in areas you mentioned, in production. Also important if we have to achieve more so that we can limit the turnaround time in our equipment when we have casualty, when we have to supply them to other areas. So all these areas and even many more areas are areas we can collaborate and leverage on our good long history of relationship. And now that you are invited us to Pakistan, I think it's also another avenue to further consolidate on this relationship and now even firm up areas we can collaborate and relate together. In addition to those others that you have discovered with the Civil Defense Staff and maybe other services also that you will engage in. So we are very pleased to have you here, and now having seen the chairman, Joint Chief of Staff Committee Pakistan, it's a great privilege to have you here, and we hope when your invitation comes to Pakistan, we can even see more things and now even better firm up areas of collaboration and cooperation, particularly in our key areas of concern. We have mentioned some of them, many of them will come, when we speak later, we will also now discuss them. Let me once again thank you for the visit and appreciate your coming. And in the spirit of this brotherhood, we too will one time find time to come to Pakistan and eat chapati.